What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, I got one off-topic thing I want to say. And then I have something on topic. I guess the first off-topic thing is I was listening to the CADcast. You know, they're funny. I like it. But for some reason, the whole George Carlin. Okay, so backstory. Dudesy, Will Sasso and Chad Kultgen, they do a show, podcast. It's produced by an AI, blah, blah, blah. AI's name's Dudesy, blah, blah, blah. And so Dudesy wrote the AI impersonation of George Carlin's 1 hour special, I Wish I Was Dead, or I'm Glad I'm Dead. I forgot what it's called. And he threw it up on YouTube, free. They're not making any money out of it, whatever, right? So they can't get sued or try to get sued or whatever. And they stipulate that it is AI, that it's not really George Carlin, and it's not blah, blah, blah. It's just an AI impersonation of George Carlin. Anyway, I listened to it. It's about an hour long, and it's pretty funny. It's good. I was like, okay. I mean, George Carlin obviously is better. You know, seeing him, his mannerisms, how he emphasizes words, and the voice is a little different because I think the AI trained on the younger George Carlin voice, not the middle to older. Anyway. Cheapy was like, oh, it's fake. They have writers. It's too good. And I'm like, I mean, look, I'm old. I think I'm around the same age as Cheapy. Actually, I think Cheapy may be maybe a little bit older than me. Maybe not. I don't know. But I will admit that AI is doing some things that I would have never thought. Like, just listening to the show. I listen to the show weekly. So I know that it does some stuff, and it's pretty funny, and it writes little scripts for Will and them to do on the show, and it's funny stuff. And it does a Tom Hanks ad with. It's crazy, and I'm like, I don't know how this AI is trained. I think it's training on them on the show, you know, because it stipulates that obviously, and it also takes everything that they've ever done. Basically, so all of their social media, all the TV shows, everything that they've ever done, even their emails, personal emails, shopping, everything. And it compiles it, and it trains itself, and it does whatever it does. And so with all that information, with all that data set, with these two funny guys, I will assume that an AI could write something funny. But Sheepy was like, nah, it's fake, it's too good, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and people were mad and stuff. I was like, whatever. But anyway, I just felt like, why is this so hard to believe that an AI could do this? I don't know. Some people just don't want to admit that it's coming. Anyway, video games. So I watched the entire thing of let's just say the Indiana Jones portion of the direct, because the Aura, something untold, whatever. I was like, I skimmed through that. I was like, I don't really care about that. But Indiana Jones, you know, I saw the beginning. I saw, you know, the intro. Todd Howard's like, I want to make a game. And then they played the trailer that I saw. And then I recorded the video yesterday. And then they played the rest. And I was like, oh, that's what I missed. And so and thank you for you peeps in chat for wising me up. Actually, I found out shortly after I watched it, or shortly after I uploaded the video, that Troy Baker was the voice. And so, but shout out to y'all anyway. And I was like, yo, that right there, I knew he was good, you know? But every time that I heard him, he always did a variation of his own voice. So I was like, oh yeah, it's Troy Baker. Oh yeah, it's Troy Baker. Even as Star-Lord, he was like, oh yeah, it's Troy Baker. They even made him look like Troy Baker a little bit. And I heard this, and I was like, I don't know who that is. And in my mind, I was like, could it be Troy Baker? Like, in my mind, I didn't think it was. I was like, maybe they got just some unknown guy or whatever. And now that I know that it's Troy Baker, I'm like, yo, mad props. He has been elevated to possibly the best voice actor in video games today because of this. Now, I mean, look, of course, his body of work, obviously. But I was like, yo, that sounds like at no point does it sound like Troy Baker doing Indiana Jones. It sounds like Harrison Ford. Maybe a little but something's not 100%, but it's hard to tell because when's the last time you heard like Harrison Ford? And also, I don't know if they did anything with the microphone or how they EQ'd his voice, but like back in the day, like in Star Wars movies and all that stuff, the audio equipment was different. Let's just say that. And so some of the audio quality, I mean, I'm sure they can go back and remaster it and add some frequencies and stuff, but for the most part, you hear it and you got that 70s sound, you know what I'm saying? Even the 80s sound, you get it. Even like 2001, Space Odyssey, right? Listen to the voices in that, and it's like it's kind of like not muffled, but some of the frequencies are a little squashed. It isn't like a huge dynamic range. You don't get the super highs and the super lows kind of mixed in with it. It's really kind of just mid-range. And it's also how they performed it too. And that goes to Star Wars and Indiana Jones as well. Although Indiana Jones was a little more, I don't want to say modern because it was in the 30s and 40s, but it's interesting. I mean, I don't consider myself a audiophile, but I do focus on audio components of things more so, not more so, but a little more intently than I guess the average person, So whatever that makes, I don't know. Speaking of audio, the music. Hello, yo, listen. You listening? Listen. I was like, look, I like John Williams. He's dope. He did right. But like, there's a few movies that could be like, all right, as far as Indiana Jones movies go, you got Temple of Doom and The Last Crusade. Those two films are the best scores in Indiana Jones. I cannot even begin to pretend to tell you any songs, any other themes from not Raiders, but from Crystal Skull. What's Mutt's theme? Every character has a theme in those movies because that's how John Williams do it. I'm like, I don't remember. Was it like a dunga 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 dunga? I don't remember what it was. I was like, I don't care. And then the newest one, the Dial of Destiny. I'm like, I mean, he didn't do that. I don't believe he did. I think Michael Giacchino did that one. Giacchino. I think he did that one. So I'm gonna let that slide. But as far as John Williams goes, I could probably go through his whole discography and like maybe 5 to 10 greatest hits. I got 2 in my brain. Well, no, it's about 5, right? Little tangent. Okay, so we did the 2 Indiana Jones movies, Temple of Doom and Last Crusade, right? Those are dope. We'll do Harry Potter number 3, Prisoner of Azkaban. That was dope. I think that was his best one. As far as all the Harry Potters. I was gonna say 1940. Was it 1942? I think that was the movie, but that was a goofy goof. Man, I had another movie in my the Star Wars movie. I liked Empire better than I guess all of them. Although The Force Awakens had some stuff in there. I was like, okay, like Rey's theme was okay, but you know what? I'll give like what was the third one? Revenge of the Sith. There's some stuff in there when Anakin and Obi-Wan is fighting. Now that was all right. But like as a whole, it's still Empire, right? And I'm trying to think. I mean, people say Jaws and stuff like that, but it's like, okay, whatever. It's just that one theme that really brings it out. And like I said, you go through other movies like AI. I don't remember anything from AI. I don't remember anything from Ready Player One. So a lot of movies, I think he did Ready Player One. But there's a lot of movies that are like, whatever. But there are some that are bangers. And I say that long journey to say this. The music that this dude, I forgot his name, sorry, but he was in the special. The music that he's doing, that I've heard just a couple of snippets, I'm like, shoot, That sounds almost better. That sounds better. I'm going to say not almost. That sounds better than a lot of John Williams' best stuff. And it was more about, I mean, he captured the feeling, but it was more about like the energy of it or something. It's weird. It's hard to explain. I mean, I would have to sit down with the game and get it all in, you know, get the whole pieces in and hear all the pieces. But when I was listening to it, I was listening to music. I was like, yo, that's like super John Williams music right there. It's not like some guy who's trying to make John Williams music and he kind of gets away with it or whatever. This sounds like, yo, John Williams passed the baton and he took it and he's running full speed. I was like, wow. And that's a big thing. Like, especially if you're talking about Indiana Jones game, you know, you gotta have the music. You gotta have, I mean, it's not just the theme, it's not just the march, the Indy march. It's all the other things. It's all the actions. It's the romance themes. You know, John Williams is always good at love themes, you know what I'm saying? So it's that too. So, but anyway, sorry for the tangent. But as far as like audio, they're doing everything right. It's like, and even like the character, I know I said this yesterday, the character design, like how they got the right for Harrison Ford's face for the character of Indiana Jones is crazy. They get the little scar in his chin. I was like, oh, nah. It's dope. I'm like, it's almost like magic how this game is happening and how authentic it feels. Does that make any sense? Like if this was a movie, like, I don't know if it'll work for, I don't know. I gotta play it. It might work as a movie. What about this? What if this game is so dope that they decide to make a movie? See, I don't know how they're gonna do that because they gotta have a young Indiana Jones and blah, blah, blah. I mean, they could do CG. They could do a CG movie. I don't know. That might be the move. If you think about it, like Indiana Jones, in order to keep it going, just do CG movies instead of like live action stuff. I don't know. I mean, since Steven Spielberg isn't directing them anymore, and he likes CG stuff, so let him direct the CG movie. That way they can have Troy Baker do the voice. They can use Harrison Ford's likeness. Boom. And it would look way better than the game because they have more, you know, processing power and render farms and such. So that's not a bad idea. I'd watch that. I'd watch a CG Indiana Jones movie. I mean, most of it's CG anyway, right? Because of the time period. But like, imagine if they made, well, this game's going to take place between Raiders and Last Crusade. So maybe there's another adventure to squeeze in between this game and Last Crusade, or maybe there's another adventure after Last Crusade. Obviously, come on, son. So they can do a lot. I think they're gonna. Well, I heard the rumor was that they're gonna make 3 of these games. So I was like, oh, we'll see. But yeah, I just want to let y'all know I saw the rest of the like the behind the scenes stuff, and it gave a little bit more. It had a little bit more graphics and stuff, a little bit more scenes, and watching it again. I know a lot of people. Last thing, I know a lot of people are like crying about, oh, it's first person, it's not third person behind the back, blah blah blah, right? And I'm like, okay, first, be quiet. First, shut up. No. Here's the problem. Sony is to blame for a lot of this, but Uncharted, God of War, all these AAA movie-like bangers have trained the gamers to expect a certain type of game. I've said this before. Whether it's from Sony or from Xbox now, obviously, oh, it's an Indiana Jones game. That's going to be like Uncharted or Tomb Raider. So it has to be third person, right? No, it doesn't. We talk about machine games. They don't do third person. They do first person. That's what they do. Why you going to make them do something that they do that? Now they pull out for third person for here and there, but whatever. But, you know, I think about the games that are successful, that are first person, that are narrative driven, plus, you know, action, shooter, whatever. And first thing comes to mind is Half-Life. Half-Life 2 in particular, because I never played the first Half-Life. I played Half-Life 2 though. And the 2 episodes, 2 and 3. Or 1 and 2. Whatever it was. And I'm like, yeah, that game did first person action adventure really well. Storytelling really well. Why can't you do it for Indiana Jones? Obviously you can, and that's what's happening. So, you know, all these people crying about it. I mean, like, like they said, like some people said, if you have motion sickness issues, then that's okay, fine. That's why you don't, okay, fine. But if you're just doing it because you're trained, because you think that it should look like Uncharted and have a camera like Uncharted, nah, get out of here. Get out of here. Then you're not a gamer. I don't know what you are, because games come in different flavors. First person, third person, isometric, drive-in, shooter, flight simulator. That's the only one. Well, there's more than one, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of crybabies out there in the world, whether it's in gaming, whether it's everything, it's like, it's a generational thing. It's a cyclical thing, obviously, as the generation gets older, the younger generation is crying about a lot of stuff because they haven't experienced a lot of the BS that is worthy of being worried about or be concerning yourself about, instead of stuff that's like, okay, that doesn't even matter. Why? And so now they're crying about, oh, it's first person. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's first person. Ah. I'm like, y'all didn't even play the game. It might be the best first person game ever created. What about the Wolfenstein games? Were they bad because they were first person? Nope. They were great. And like I said, Half-Life, great. Portal, great. I mean, that's a puzzle game, but still, it's not a shooter. That's the whole point. You can have a first person game that's not a shooter, and it could be awesome. And I think Indiana Jones has a unique advantage, or I guess advantage, in that you have melee and you have the whip, which is like, it's a multi-tool. Something just banged. But anyway, let me know in the comments below, blah, blah, blah. I want to see what happened. Hit me up on the comment. Let me know about what you think, and I'm going to check out what just happened. I'll check out later. Till the wait.